Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. This was I audibled today's episode of Town Hall Hoop Streams. We was going to talk about the good old summer league, but other things happened that led me down this rabbit hole. Can't say I'm not grateful for it. Um, we are going to be talking about the great Tim Duncan today, um, and how good he is. Well, a lot of things regarding Tim Duncan, basically. This was inspired by my co-host, shout out to Roto. When today on Player's Choice, if you weren't tapped in, he decided to have what I would deem a random outburst, sorry, where he asked, why is Tim Duncan better than Giannis? Which I think is a valid question to ask, by the way. But yeah, so today we are just going to talk about all things Tim Duncan. Obviously, this is the show where you guys do get to come up as well. So the link will be put into the chat shortly for you guys to pull up, talk about Tim Duncan, good, bad, or indifferent. And then we'll get out of it. But before we do that, real talk, how are you?
Doing swell, man. Doing swell. How are you?
Yeah, fantastic, man. Been meaning to have the Tim Duncan discussion anyway, so no time like the present. I want to give you the floor first because you were the one who did decide to just, and you said you've been plotting on this for a while as well, particularly the Giannis side of this. Um, so I'm just gonna ask you: is this Giannis propaganda or Tim Duncan slander, or is it a combination of the two?
It's objectivity. Look, at the end of the day, right? Um, Tim Duncan, in my opinion, gets grossly overrated. Um, I don't deem it to be slander. I just deem it to be the truth. But maybe if you're on the optimistic side of Tim Duncan, you see it as slander. It's all about perspective, right? A lot of these things, a lot of opinions are all based off perspective. But I just feel like now I will say this: there is a version of Tim Duncan where that is a solidified top 10 player. Like, I don't want to get it twisted as far as like I'm not saying that I never think like there's a part of his career where he's that level of player. I was just checking on it right, like basically from let's say 99 to I'll even put in '07 because they won the championship. 99 to '07, I think that's a good enough stretch to where like that the heights he reaches in some of those years. Obviously, '03 is a spectacular season, right? Like there are very few players that have reached that level of play, especially bigs. '05 is another one. Like he's fantastic, but you've hinted at this a lot of the time, and it's like although he does reach certain heights, I don't think they're as high as some of the other players on the top 10, but he gets catapulted up the top 10 due to his longevity, right? Oh, wow. I didn't know I had
Nice,
the pen on.
nice. Okay.
Right? Due to his longevity. And I think that to me is the most overrated part of his career. It's the longevity. Even today on the panel, like he got all of these reasons to being no longer the best player on his team, but he got like accredited for it. Oh man, he can adjust and he's done that. Well, he adjusted because number one, the team had to adjust to sustain the level of productivity that they had been um, playing at and sustaining because he was no longer that level of player. Popovich had to switch it up. We had to start running more. Hey, Tony Parker, we're pick and rolling this thing for real. Manu, we're pick and rolling this thing. We're going more to spread offense, and we're not just dipping it down to Tim Duncan and saying, "Hey, Tim, create out of the post." Like that just wasn't the game plan anymore. And it's not because Tim Duncan is so great at adjusting. It was because that was leading to better offense. They were better offensive players on his team. So you combine that with the fact that even his defense, as the years go along, I do think, great rim protector, great rebounder. He had some very good defensive help and support as well, right? We mentioned the Kawhi Leonards of the world, the Bruce Bowens. We mentioned I threw in Steven Jackson because I do think he deserves credit as well. Manu Ginobili, things of that nature. It's like there was defensive talent. David Robinson. So I don't know, man. I feel like during his time, maybe the ninth, eighth to 10th best player when he was really hooping. And then that's where he should be. And we shouldn't catapult him up the list because he has 8 more years of being, cool. Because that's what it is. It's like he's cool. You know what I'm saying? It's not, to me, it's not even like, I'll say this for perspective, or I'll ask you this. Bron post 20, from 21 up until 25, that 4-year stretch. To me, LeBron was still operating at a much higher level than like 08 post that Duncan. Is that like, is that far-fetched?
I'm not moved by 25 LeBron, but 21 through 24, I agree. But 25, LeBron kind of
you were
stinky by that
low
point.
on
Yeah.
25, Brian. Yeah.
But 21 through 24, yeah, I agree. I think that version of Bron is better than post 08 Tim Duncan.
And let's go, 22 up until last year, KD?
He's better than 08 and beyond Tim Duncan.
23 up until now, Steph?
Better than 08 Tim Duncan and beyond.
Shit. James Harden from like...
Okay. You don't even believe that. You don't even believe that.
but I mean, is it like, to me, Tim Duncan has those added years. To me, he's not a good enough player for them to matter enough to move him from 8 to 10, which to me, that's around probably where he should be, to number 5 all time. I don't value those years to that degree. I really don't. And so that's basically my assessment of him. I still think he's really good at his best.
Yeah, he was cool. When we did the all-time stuff, last off season, you had Tim Duncan at 7. That's what you had him. You had him at 7 all time. A year on, you don't have to have a concrete list, but a year on, would you say he's moved up, down, or stayed in the same spot?
Who'd I have at 8?
Steph. No, wait. KD and then Steph. So KD 8, Steph 9.
Yeah, KD better than Tim Duncan. So, damn, I have KD 7th all time. Am I overrating Kevin Durant?
I mean, you value longevity, I guess. So cool, but 7 feels like a stretch for me, as I have Kevin Durant at 9. Ooh.
I may
The
have
7
to.
is definitely overrated compared to consensus.
I don't
for
know
sure.
if I'm gonna have KD over Duncan. I'll say he's in the same spot. Then I'm cool with
There you
Duncan
go.
at 7.
Okay,
I'm
nice.
cool with Duncan.
When I made the list last year, I had Duncan at 8. Said it on the stream at the time. Whoops. Because Hakeem was the guy who missed out on my top 10. My bad. Apologies to Mr. Elijah one.
Blasphemous.
Yeah, my bad, Mr. Elijah one. I apologize. That's on me. Yeah, he's lower for me for sure. I don't know where that means he is, but he's lower for me. For me, it's just the more time on my hands I have, the more I just start watching things, paying attention to other things. Some of the things I value on a basketball court are a little bit different. And this is why I'm waiting to I'll send the link out to the people. Hopefully there are some people who are like high on Tim Duncan, who can come up, because I don't want it to just be an echo chamber of people who are like thinking like me. So hopefully there are people who are higher on Tim Duncan who come up. Quite frankly, I just don't see it. Like, I don't see the top 5 player ever that people are telling me was there. I'm not seeing the by far and away best power forward to ever play the game that people are telling me was there. And I know for sure I'm not seeing the longevity that people are telling me was there. So when I add all of those things up in terms of how he is perceived versus what I'm seeing, they just don't match up. So that's why I'm not as high on him. I'm now standing on it. Like before, I've always used to just tiptoe around it and then give give Tim Duncan the benefit of the doubt because I couldn't be bothered with making the argument. I just think Kevin Garnett is better than him. Like, I just think he's a better player than him.
This is where we
differ
a little bit. Not necessarily because I think Tim Duncan like clears KG, because I don't, but I do think that you kind of undersell the importance
isolation scoring. Yes, I know.
Not just, but it's not. Well, you say that, but it's like if you're operating as a 1, if you're the number 1 option on your team, creating good looks for yourself consistently is important. Like that. That's not like
they're just saying things that like I know that Tim Duncan is better than KG.
But like Kevin Garnett's not that good at that.
Through it. Cool. I don't think Tim Duncan is that good at that either, but that's fine. But he's better than Kevin Garnett is something I've already acknowledged and still come to the conclusion that Kevin Garnett is better at the sport than him. Like, it's not like, oh, no, I'm arguing KG is a better self-creator than Tim Duncan. It's like, no, I'm acknowledging KG's biggest weakness was his ability to impose himself as an individual one-on-one scorer, particularly through physicality and all of that stuff. Tim Duncan, that was one of his biggest strengths on offense. I'm acknowledging that being the case and still coming to the conclusion that Kevin Garnett is the better player. Like, you're not telling me anything about Tim Duncan's game that I wasn't already conceding in the discussion. I can even concede the importance of it, especially in that time where offense was run through the post and through the big.
Yeah,
that it was valuable that Tim Duncan was able to do that. I can acknowledge that and still come to the conclusion that I think Kevin Garnett was the better offensive player than Tim Duncan. Like, regardless of the fact that I think, yeah, Tim Duncan was a more reliable isolationist. Cool. I still value KG's off-ball game. I value his isolation game still individually. I value the outside shooting. I value the passing. I value the versatility. I value all of that in comparison to Tim Duncan's superior offense, superior isolation game. I value all of that more. I still think he provides more value in totality on offense, whether that's in a number 1 role, in a number 2 role, in a scale down number 3 role, all of the above. I value KG more. And then defensively, I value the versatility. I value the ability to be one. I don't know why Chill managed to get away with saying Tim Duncan was the best defensive rebounder in the league, by the way. That was ridiculous. But Kevin Garnett, better defensive rebounder, the versatility, the switchability, the fact that I can also still protect the rim at a high level. Cool. Tim Duncan was a better post defender and can match the physicality of bigs in the NBA at a higher rate than Kevin Garnett. I can concede that. Cool. I still think Kevin Garnett was the better defender as well. So where do I go from here if I think someone's better offensively and defensively? I just think they're a better player. It's kind of, at that point, it's kind of simple for me. Like, I don't know what I'm meant to do with that. Just you're better on both sides.
Your view on Kevin Garnett really throws me on like how low, in my opinion, you are on Anthony Davis. To me, those two things just they don't.
I don't know where
add
you
up.
think I'm low on Anthony Davis for, but I mean,
Because you do be like low, like that big man conversation that
don't
we
think I'm
had,
low on
that
Anthony
singular,
Davis
that
because I think he's
singular
worse
year
than
combo.
Wemby, Giannis, Embiid, and Jokic.
But you made it seem like, oh yeah, this AD's like the worst, and that was like
Yeah,
set in stone for you.
Yeah, I
and I'm
knew
like,
he was lost. Yeah, I knew he was lost.
but how? When all of the things, well, he's not the passer KG was, but the player that's most in common with KG, in my opinion,
I've said that before as well,
would be Anthony Davis.
I've said that exactly.
I don't know how you're like, oh yeah, KG's way like this, and then like, oh yeah, AD's his best year arguably is for sure last on the list with a nigga that don't play defense, another nigga that can't shoot. Another, I'm not saying
Kevin Garnett is better than Anthony Davis. I don't get what
I don't think KG at his best and AD at his best is that far apart. I honestly don't.
Yeah, this is more so I'm higher on Kevin Garnett than you are. That's yeah, he's better than Anthony Davis. But I've also made the exact same statement of the most similar player to Kevin Garnett is Anthony Davis. I've said that exact thing word for word verbatim. I know I've said that, and I've said that on multiple occasions. And I've given Anthony Davis in his peak more than enough flowers. I didn't even know that was a thing that was even questioned, to be honest. When we did the list, I had Anthony Davis at 6 all time on the power forward list. You had him at 5. The only difference was I had Dirk above him. That was the only difference. We had the exact same other 4 names. I've made the case for Anthony Davis over guys like Charles Barkley. I've made the case for 2020 AD being a top 3 player in the world. I've spoke highly on Pelicans AD 2018, 2019, 2017. Spoke highly on him. I've called the 2023 Anthony Davis defensive postseason run one of the best postseason runs we've ever seen. Like, I don't think me saying he's worse than singular seasons, worse than Wemby, Embiid, Jokic, and Giannis is being low on Anthony Davis at all, to be honest. So
nah, it is when you don't think it's a conversation, in my opinion. It's not the ranking of it; it's the approach that was had in the.
I never said it wasn't a conversation. I just said for me, he's comfortably lost because I've thought it through, and every which way I've gone through it, Anthony Davis ends up at the bottom. I can understand why people think he's better than Wemby. You value the offensive versatility, the jump shooting that he provided, the play finishing was the best in the league at the time. Even if he isn't better than Wemby, he's damn close. And he was shooting, 40% from 3 that year, 38%, whatever it was, 50% from mid-range in the playoffs, at least. I understand the Anthony Davis over Wemby argument. Joel Embiid can't stay healthy. Cool.
Defensively.
Yeah. Joel Embiid played 39 games. I even said to chill, because he had Embiid lost. If the argument against Embiid is the fact that he's not healthy, cool. I would move Embiid down. That's fine. Now, you're not going to convince me he was better than Embiid if Embiid is actually on the court. But that's neither him. That's more, I'm high on Embiid. Jokic, I mean, do I need to explain why I think one of the tier 1 offensive players ever is better than Anthony Davis? It's because he's one of the tier 1 offensive players ever. That's why I think he's better than Anthony Davis. The same way I think everyone in that group is better than Anthony Davis. I think Michael Jordan, Jokic, Magic Johnson, LeBron James, Steph Curry, I think they're all better than Anthony Davis.
Yeah,
because they're tier 1 offensive players.
Degrees, of course.
Yeah, because some are better offensively than others, and some are also really good defensively. But every single one of my tier 1 offensive players, I think, are better players than Anthony Davis. And then Giannis.
Over a large sample size, I agree that gap does widen. But in a question where we're asking
single year, I mean, you want me to go a single year of what? 2016 Steph versus Anthony Davis?
Not so much Steph. I'm more so talking about Jokic. All of that value that you lose defensively Jokic? at the center position, 25 Jokic is an egregious defensive player.
He's a bad defensive player, yeah.
No. But don't just say, "Oh, better defensive player." Yeah, no.
No, I never said that. I said he's
25
a bad defensive
Jokic
player. I agreed. I'm
is
agreeing.
an
He's a bad defensive player.
egregious defensive player, and so if I'm taking
Cool.
the best of Anthony Davis, the
Mm-hmm.
best,
Sure.
which still no, he's not Jokic as an offensive player, but
Yes.
still elite offensive player and
Mm-hmm.
one of the best defenders ever. To me,
Mm-hmm.
that definitely closes the gap substantially
Of course, it
for
closes the gap.
Nikola
Of
Jokic.
course. Of course, it closes the
Well,
gap.
to me, it makes him better. I'm not even going to front. To me, that makes him better. 25 Jokic is that bad of a defensive player, in my
And that's
opinion.
fine. And then we'd have to discuss how bad is Jokic defensively, which we don't have to do. We have that conversation too many times on other platforms.
Correct.
Cool. But yeah, if you're valuing the two-way viability part of it, cool. I can understand that. Now, I disagree because I think, once again, the tier one offensive player ever outweighs that personally. And I would just settle with bad defender. Egregious feels like a reach to me, but I'm not here to argue the semantics of bad versus egregious. At the end of the day, he's bleeding value on defense. So, yes,
25, 26 have been egregious. 24,
I think 26 was egregious. I don't think 25 was egregious.
23, some of his bet 23, 22, 21.
Actually, 21 was
Was
egregious.
it
21 was
worst?
egregious. No, 21 was egregious. 22 was cool. 23 was cool. 24 was 25 was bad. 26 was egregious, in my opinion. I think it's been going the other way for 3 years now. But anyway, bleeding value on
If we
defense.
said like 23 Jokic, to me, maybe that changes the answer. But I think 25, 26 Jokic has been that bad of a defensive player. Like, honestly.
That's fine. But yeah, if that's the angle for AD over Jokic, it's like cool. I understand. But once again, I understand the angle. I disagree with said angle, which is why AD would still be last. And then the Wemby side of it is like I'm just higher on Wemby's defensive impact than everyone else apparently. Like I respect Anthony Davis, 2020 Anthony Davis, 2080, whatever. Wemby to me is the best defender since Kevin Garnett. He's better than Draymond Green, who I think is better than Anthony Davis. He's better than Kawhi. He's better than Rudy Gobert. To me, like we're talking, he's in Kevin Garnett, Tim Duncan, I guess, Hakeem. Like he's in that territory for me defensively. So I think he's quite clearly a better defender than Anthony Davis, in my opinion. And then offensively, I still value all of the gravity stuff, the fact that he can still make the threes, the fact that he's one of the biggest lob threats in NBA history. Like all of that off-ball weaponry that he has offensively, the fact that you can run him off pin downs, but then he can also just be your pick and roll big, the fact that he can run invert pick and rolls, all of that flexibility to me still adds up to enough value, despite the fact that he's a limited self-creator, to where the defense can still carry him above a guy like Anthony Davis. None of this is me being low on Anthony Davis more than I'm really high on the other four. Like, I don't think I'm low on AD for anything that I've just said, to be honest. So yeah, and Kevin Garnett is just better than Anthony Davis, in my opinion, on both sides of the basketball. So I still don't. Yeah, he's just better than.
Well, I mean, KG wasn't even part of the. I'm more so talking about when we had that discussion.
Yeah, but this is it started
or even like a Giannis, like
similar to KG. So why you know one thingy? So I'm saying KG is just better than, even if they're the same archetype, which I would agree. They are very similar archetypes. KG is just better within that archetype. So that's why I can have KG above all of those names. Not saying I do, but in theory, I could have KG above all of those names and have Anthony Davis below all of those names, despite them being in the same archetype. I have Tim Duncan above Anthony Davis, just by having KG above Tim Duncan.
We're not here to discuss AD over to, or maybe we do because it is a Tim Duncan episode. But I also, I think where we disagree also is how good AD is defensively at his best as well. I just think.
Oh yeah, I've heard you say some things.
Yeah, I just, again, a shout out to Wemby for being 8 feet tall and staying next to the rim. Get it, a lot of value.
I mean, he's not Mark Eaton, but sure, I guess.
You know what I'm saying? But like my big being able to do an abundance of things at a very high level defensively. And to me I think AD is a better rebounder at his best than Wemby has shown so far as well. defensively, in my opinion. Um, yeah, but again, I'm someone who tends to lean more towards versatility than
Until it's
dominant
KG
at
versus Tim
one thing.
Duncan, yeah. Mhm.
Hmm. Well,
Hmm,
score the ball. You're
interesting.
number one. Score the ball.
He did score the
You
ball.
know, not better than Tim Duncan.
Yeah, he wasn't a better scorer than Tim Duncan. He scored the ball though.
He did. He really did. If they were both not, I'll say this, not tasked of being the best offensive player on their team, dare I say KG clears. But they were. So to me,
KG was tasked with being the best offensive player on his team in a very completely different environment, by the way. Which is fine, but
I
it's
mean, but
not
what
one to
years?
one
What years are we
comparison.
saying?
His prime, whichever year you want.
But I'm saying the reason I'm asking is because I've also heard you make the argument about how Greg Popovich early on was more so a defensive minded coach, and all they were doing in San
Oh, I'm
Antonio
not
was
saying he
dumping the
was
ball
in.
into
I'm not
Tim
saying, yeah, I'm
Duncan.
not saying it was 2014 infrastructure, but I'm saying it's a very different environment in terms of what they were asked to do. There would be like you can go. I'm not saying you haven't watched the games. There'll be some possessions where KG is their point guard offensively, and then the very next possession he is their center. Like he is being asked and leveraged to do completely different things to what Tim Duncan was asked to do. He's being asked to initiate offense, create from the outside, and then he's asked to be their post hub. Like within the same quarter, he's being asked to do all of those things. Tim Duncan, they're giving the ball to him on the block, and he's having to score in isolation over double teams and traps and all of those things. But at the end of the day, that was his job. That was his duty, which is still a difficult job. But what I'm saying is they are in different infrastructures. That's what I'm saying. Very different. And I'm not saying KG could do what Tim Duncan, and that's why every time a KG Tim Duncan conversation comes up, I make sure to say I don't subscribe to the idea that if KG was on the Spurs, he would have won 5 rings too. Like I don't follow
Yeah,
that
because I don't
ideology.
think that KG probably isn't as good as Tim Duncan in that specific
Exactly.
role.
Like, and I don't think that proves that KG is worse or better than Tim Duncan if they would have won 5 rings or not. That doesn't prove either way for me. The same way it doesn't prove anything if Tim Duncan loses in Minnesota. Like, none of that proves anything. I'm talking about Kevin Garnett's skill set, Tim Duncan's skill set in an average situation. Who do I think provides more value and more chance for me to win? It's Kevin Garnett. It's the utility, it's the versatility, it's the overall skill set, all of that in conjunction with everything. Yes, I think Kevin Garnett gives me a better chance of winning games in the regular season, winning games in the playoffs, regardless of teammates scaling up, scaling down. Kevin Garnett gives me a better chance to win, in my opinion. And then also, his longevity is also amazing, by the way, which is another thing that I don't know if that gets slept on or whatnot. But yeah, Kevin Garnett, good player. Tim Duncan, good player. I just happen to think Kevin Garnett is better. And I might be coming around to Pete Giannis being better. I don't know, but we'll see. We'll see.
You have KG as a better defender than Tim Duncan?
Yes, he's better on both sides of the ball.
Is between KG and AD defensively, you would say KG is better at perimeter oriented stuff?
I mean, yeah, he's better perimeter oriented stuff. He's a better rebounder. His motor is way higher. His defensive IQ, I would say, is maybe the highest ever. Him, Bill Russell, Draymond, all in conjunction, I guess. Timing. I think AD is a better pure rim protector. But I don't know if I think that about 2020 AD, more so like once he put on more weight, is probably when I think about AD as a pure rim protector. Relative to their era, KG is more switchable. He might be the best pick and roll defender ever. Yeah, he's just better than Anthony Davis. But I think AD's a better pure rim protector. Same thing Tim Duncan's better at. Pure rim protection is better at that. And post defense. I think Nash is better than Anthony Davis, yes. That's for Cody Agu, who said when Mars said all the tier 1 offensive players that I was including. Actually, I think he's also better than Anthony Davis.
Absolutely not.
I mean, yeah, sure.
Absolutely not.
So there's not a Nash versus AD conversation, so you get to move on.
That is correct. So what's the gap between AD and Tim Duncan as defensive players?
Let me check. Bear with me, because I made a list with Nerd Sesh once upon a time. I had to do the best defensive peaks. And I know I had Kevin Garnett on the list, and I'm pretty sure I had Anthony Davis somewhere on it. Okay. So I had Kevin Garnett at 3 on said list, and I had Anthony Davis at 9. But Anthony Davis could move up to 8. He could move up to 8. Because, yeah, I might move AD up to 8 or 9 is where I would have Anthony Davis. 8 or 9. I had Kevin Garnett at 3, only behind Bill Russell and Hakeem. Because we was doing multi-year peaks. So when we doesn't have multiple years, I'm like, yeah, okay. So I had Kevin Garnett at 3, AD at 9. In between them, I had Tim Duncan, David Robinson, Draymond Green, and Ben Wallace. Those are the guys who I think are better than him. And then him and Rudy can go.
No, I was asking the gap of AD and Tim though specifically. Like,
oh, Tim. Oh, well, I had Tim at 4 and AD at 8 or 9. But the thing with Tim is just once again, it's the more relative to error stuff. The pure rim protector, I think he's a better rim protector than Anthony Davis. I think he's a better rim protector than Kevin Garnett as well. And then the post defense, which I think he was the best in the league at the time. Probably. And then just didn't call for as much switching. So even though I think AD is the more versatile defender, it was just easier to keep a guy like Tim Duncan at the rim so you could get more maximal value out of Tim Duncan. But since I then made that list, Tim Duncan might actually move down for me. I might have him closer to 6 or 7. Because once again, watching more of those Spurs games,
but relative to era, Tim Duncan would be a better defender than Kevin Garnett. If you keep it in that vacuum.
Yeah, but I still don't agree. Because I watched the games from that era and I'm like, yeah, Kevin Garnett's better on defense. They're in the same era. I'm watching the games and saying Kevin Garnett is a better defender. Like, I get Tim Duncan's biggest strengths on defense.
Kevin Garnett as a post defender.
He is, yeah. His 2 biggest strengths on defense
a better rim protector.
Were valuable in his era. His 2 biggest strengths in defense were valuable in that era. I'm not saying they weren't. That still doesn't mean he's still providing more value on defense in his era when I'm watching Kevin Garnett play defense. I'm watching 08 Kevin Garnett. I'm watching 04 Kevin Garnett. I'm watching 03 Kevin Garnett. I'm watching these games, and then I'm watching 02 Tim Duncan, 03 Tim Duncan.
But what value are you talking about when I've heard you repeatedly state how Tim Duncan was anchoring some of the best defenses ever in that era.
He was anchoring some of the best defenses ever.
Which Kevin Garnett was not doing that.
Once again, very different infrastructures. And this one is where it's actually relevant to bring up personnel, roles, coaching, all of the above. The only time Kevin Garnett had remotely comparable personnel was when he got to Boston. And that was a better defense than Tim Duncan ever anchored. His first year there. And then he tears his meniscus in 09. But even before he tears his meniscus, they were on track to do the same thing again. Like, I'm not about to be like, oh, well, Tim Duncan was anchoring the best defense in the league or top 3 defenses, and Kevin Garnett out there with Fred Hoiberg was not. I mean, I guess. Cool.
Yeah, but by the time we get to Boston, though, he's also playing with...
Yeah, he had personnel. And even that personnel isn't spectacular personnel. It's Kendrick Perkins, good post defender who could take that
really good defender for that era.
Yeah, once again, good personnel. The same thing you do with Steve Nash. Steve Nash had great offensive personnel to lead to the best offenses ever. So we need good personnel to do this. So
correct.
Kendrick Perkins, Paul Pierce, who was a solid defender, Ray Allen, who was mid at best, Rondo, who was really good, Tony Allen coming off the bench, who was good, Posey.
Tony Allen's all-time great.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, my fault. Amazing, all-time great, whatever. Tony Allen, James Posey,
who was really good as well.
Really good defender, yes.
Yes.
Who else is on that roster that I'm forgetting? Like off the top of my head right now. Because I'm not about to start talking about Eddie House. So like, who else is on that roster that I'm forgetting? Because it's not Glenn
Big
Baby Davis
and stuff, and them was, but you know,
does this okay? Those just name value alone. Does that sound like the makings of one of the best regular season defenses ever, in your opinion?
Off name value alone, I would guess not. But I mean, to me though, San Antonio off name value alone wouldn't though either in those years. Off name value alone,
David
once you get
Robinson,
past,
Tim Duncan, obviously, Bruce Bowen, those three alone sounds like strong name value outside of KG, Tony Allen, and Kendrick Perkins.
yeah, but he also did it in 05. By the time we get to 05, David Robinson is no longer on the team. Or 04.
That's a comparable defense. 04, yeah. 05 is a comparable defense to the 08 Celtics.
Okay, well then let's do 04.
04, so you got obviously Bruce Bowen. I'm higher on Ginobili's defense, but name value alone, that's cool. And then outside of him, so it'll be Tim Duncan, Bruce Bowen, and then you go to the lesser names, the Malik Rose, Ginobili. The funny thing is they went from because Nesterovic was playing in Minnesota with KG, and then he goes to the Spurs and plays next to Tim Duncan, and then they have a historic defense. So Nesterovic, Robert Horry, who else is on those rosters? Hudu was on that team, right, in 04? Or am I tripping?
I don't sit here, and I'm not autistic like you are. I look stuff up. I don't just.
I think Hudu. I think Hudu Tucker was on those teams. But yeah, those type of teams, yeah. So both anchored all-time great defenses in their era, without the transcendent personnel. And Kevin Garnett was more versatile, still an elite rim protector. In my opinion, by far the better defensive rebounder. And then once again, the defensive IQ, all of the versatility stuff. Like, yeah, he's just a better defender. Regardless of the fact that I can concede Tim Duncan being a better post defender, maybe the best post defender in the league at the time, and a better pure rim protector, pure anchor. Even though KG was still
that
really
KG
good at
is a
both
better
of those
defender.
things.
That's now my pushback is because what you said, I'm trying to remember correctly. What your thing about Kevin Garnett was, I just think he's better. I can scale him up. I can scale him down. I can do. It wasn't like you didn't put the confines of relative to the time for Kevin Garnett. But then when I asked you to compare AD and Tim Duncan defensively, you put Tim Duncan in the confines of relative.
It's just Duncan and KG played at the same time. So
but then
I'm
trying to ask, what is this?
Two players at the same time.
But then what is this extra impact that Kevin Garnett is adding in his time that he's playing that Tim Duncan isn't? When Tim Duncan has more valuable like skill sets for that time in the NBA. Kevin Garnett being able to switch out in 2004 isn't as, relevant as it would be if he played today. Off the skill set, I agree. That's not what I'm.
KG would be. He would clear Duncan in today, sure. But even in his time, because when I say Tim Duncan is a better pure anchor and post defender, KG is still elite at both of those things. He's just not Tim Duncan at those things, and then adds all the extra value in every other way, which even if it's not as valuable in his time as it would be today, still adds exceptional value to what you can do defensively as a unit, because you have a guy like Kevin Garnett who can not only clean up all of your mistakes as a second side rim protector, not only can play the 5 in spurts because of his rebounding and rim protection, not only can switch, not only is the most vocal communicator defensively I've ever seen. All of that in conjunction alongside being a good pure rim protector and rebounder and post defender adds up to more value than the more rigid Tim Duncan in his own era. And the reason I don't say relative to era with KG and Tim Duncan is because they played at the same time. Like, I just don't feel the need to add the relative to era. I thought it was just like
so. But I'm saying
speaking about them in their time.
I think that all of that adds up to more versatility during that time. I'm struggling to see where the added value is as far as impact. Value to me means impact. What is KG doing during that time because nothing he did during that time shows he's a more impactful defender than Tim Duncan. There's nothing he provided during that time as far as
Based on
adding
what?
value to defenses for it to be deemed more impactful.
He was
or
making the worst defensive infrastructure in the league a good defense. The Wolves were the worst defense in the NBA. Take out Kevin Garnett's presence. He was making them a good defense practically single-handedly. What value is he not driving? I get post defense was more valuable in that time. That doesn't mean that it's just factual that KG isn't driving more value. That's not how that works. Just because he didn't do the most valuable thing better than X player, that doesn't mean he wasn't still driving insane value, if not better than someone who did that thing better than him. Because of all of the other ways in which I just said he drove value, on top of still being elite at the things that were still valuable at the time. He was still an elite post defender. He just wasn't Tim Duncan or Ben Wallace or even Shaq. Like, Shaq was a better post defender in that time. He wasn't like those three. He was still an A-tier post defender. He wasn't the best defensive anchor in terms of man the middle of the paint, play the 5 full time, and do that. He wasn't Ben Wallace or Tim Duncan in those areas. Or sure, Marcus can be once you get to like 06, 07. He wasn't those guys. He was still A-tier, A+ in that area in his time. And then he was the most versatile defender in the league. On top of that, the most vocal communicator in the league. On top of that, had the highest motor in the league. On top of that, all of those things end up, in my opinion, to him driving more value on defense than Tim Duncan. And I don't think that's logically inconsistent to say that.
But in a time in which, again, where during that time in the league, they're both in the West, you have to get past people like Shaq and Tim Duncan's ability to stonewall Shaq more often than a lot of other people in the league in the post is a direct
He was a better
correlation to
Shaq
him.
matchup. Yes, he was a better Shaq matchup.
Yeah, but again, what I'm saying is that's showing like the value added for their time period. That's what I'm saying. Kevin Garnett being able to switch out on Kobe a few times when they played the Lakers isn't as valuable as him getting absolutely ramrodded by Shaq in the post. But Tim Duncan's able to hold up against Shaq in 99. Watch that recently. In 99, stonewalling him multiple times. The reason why they were able to beat him in 03, because Kobe actually played phenomenal in that 03 series. I know a lot of people don't know that when they beat him. But it's because Tim Duncan was able to, for what it's worth, it's not like anybody's shutting down Shaquille O'Neal. But
in 02, they had Shaq struggling. They lost, but they had Shaq struggling in 02.
So that's like, I'm saying, I just disagree with this added value that Kevin Garnett for their time period.
That's fine.
Not in general.
We're allowed to disagree. Period. I just don't think it's
Mm-hmm.
impossible for Kevin Garnett to drive more value on defense. That's what I'm pushing back on. If people think Tim Duncan drove more value on defense in his era than KG did in that era, like, cool. All power to you. I'm not saying that's wrong. I just don't think it's wrong to say KG did in an era in which he was quite clearly floor raising a defense that had no business having their floor being raised. But before we bring up guests, I'm going to read super chats, and then you guys can come up and share whatever thoughts you may have on the conversation or add to it or whatever else. Clips fan 1221 said, "What's your guys' favorite game to rewatch?" For me, it's Luka's 60-point triple-double against the Knicks. Do you have a favorite game you rewatch?
You said Luka's 60-point triple-double. The versus what? The Knicks, the 60-20.
Yeah, the 60-20, yeah, that one. Where he got the putback at the end to go to like overtime or whatever.
First game to me that just always comes to mind easily is 2016 OKC versus Golden State. Curry from half court, bang, the whole shindig. Not for any particular player. It was just a phenomenal basketball game. The stars showed up. Everybody hooped. You know what I'm saying? Great game.
Shout out to KD fouling out.
Yeah.
On an Andre Iguodala pump fake.
Yeah. On a long too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Salute.
Shout out to Iggy making them free throws, by the way. Because I remember when he went to the line, the commentator was like, "Oh, 63% from the free throw line for Andre Iguodala this season," or something like that. It was mid-60s, and then he went and knocked them both down. So shout out to him. I don't really have a favorite game to rewatch. I don't think I do, to be honest.
Clippers Kings a few years ago. That's a good shout. That was a
that the
great game.
170 to like 162?
Everybody just could not guard anybody, and it wasn't even like it was because like bad defense being able. It was an all-time shot making game. Salute. Oh man, when De'Aaron Fox was cold, the days.
Yeah, I don't think I have a favorite game. High on Football said, who is better at their best, Kobe or Tim Duncan? Real talk, who do you think is better?
I mean, come on, Kobe.
I also have Kobe Bryant. Avery said Duncan being the best power forward doesn't equal automatic top 10. 3 guys from his era are better. Shaq, Kobe, and I don't know who else. Bron. Is Bron part of that era?
I mean, what he got there in 04, so he played.
He played 12 years alongside Duncan.
That's 7 years in the decade.
And it is most of the decade,
yeah.
I'm assuming Bron is who he's talking about. Drew Knows Ball said, who defined that era more, Kobe and Duncan or LeBron and Steph? 2000s versus 2010s, and if they teamed up in their prime, what's a better duo?
LeBron and Curry are a better duo. They also probably defined their era more. Probably, and to me, that's due to the fact that they were in opposing conferences, so they're able to meet each other a lot. Like if Kobe gets to the finals, then that means Tim Duncan obviously can't get there, and vice versa. So, yeah.
Shout out to Bron and Steph. Dobby Greg says, should have had Low to have someone high on Duncan. No, thank you. Bronson Better said, what's good, fellas? Better offensive player, Cat versus Wemby.
Wemby's more impactful. I would say Cat, from a skill set perspective, right now, probably has more in the tool bag.
Wemby. Bronson Better said, Wemby has higher highs. Cat's a better passer, shoot, drives, playmaker. He's a better passer, better shooter, better driver. I don't think he's a better playmaker though. And then Gang Rebound said, what do you guys think about Kevin Durant versus Tim Duncan, KD gaps and longevity? Yeah, you did say, did you confirm that you have Kevin Durant above Tim Duncan all time?
Nah, I kept.
Oh, you walked it back.
Yeah. I walked that back.
As you should. Jabo said, I know this is a Tim Duncan pod, but I said Dre is a top 5 defender of all time, and Clay is more expendable and easier to replace on the Warriors than he is. What do you think? I agree. Well, do I think he's a top 5 defender ever? He's fringe top 5 defender ever for me. But I do think I think Clay's more expendable and easier to replace. What say you?
We also disagree that Draymond is a better defender than Anthony Davis, but that's fine. It's probably easier to replace Klay Thompson, I guess, but I do think that Klay Thompson is starting to get like vastly underrated for those teams, especially before Kevin Durant gets there.
Says Mr. Concaniple's better offensively, by the way.
Okay.
But he's underrated, I guess.
Klay run a pick and roll. Wasn't the same. Sorry. But like, nah, shout out to Klay Thompson. I was wrong. I was in the moment. It is what it is.
Yeah, can't say that hasn't happened before. But anyway, let's bring people up. Obviously, we have our friend Amir here. His camera's on, so he gets to come up first. Hello.
What's up? It's been a while.
You up a beer?
Yeah, that's a good topic, by the way, Tim Duncan. I mean, it's a good off-season topic for sure. Uh,
Thank you very much.
Especially when we're waiting for LeBron, who got beaten by him twice in the finals. So, yeah, like if the question is about defense, I do have Tim Duncan higher than KG all time because I genuinely believe Tim Duncan is the best defender I've ever seen. I didn't watch Bill Russell live, obviously, and the few games available, yeah, he's more impressive for his era. But from the players I can actually watch a lot of games of, I have not seen any player better defensively than Tim Duncan. And that's why he's as high as he is on my all time list. And I also disagree with the personnel part because I think people forget that Tim Duncan played for the same franchise for basically 19 years. Outside of the two like main guys, Parker and Ginobili, who are not known for their defense, most of the other players came and went like 2 or 3 years in. So he basically anchored the best defense in the league with like five different cores. And that to me is extremely impressive. Like I cannot stress how impressive that is. Um, would KG do the same? Maybe, maybe not. I mean, he's also one of the greatest defenders ever, but I cannot just hypothetically say that KG is capable of this when the only team he did that with is probably one of the best, if not the best, defensive team ever. Like when you look at the personnel alone, like Rajon Rondo, Tony Allen, James Posey, Kendrick Perkins, Paul Pierce, like all of these guys, probably without KG, would still be a top 10 defense in the league. Like you cannot say that about the Spurs, especially the non-Bruce Bowen Spurs. So to me, like the personnel part, I think it's not fair for someone who played 19 years. And as players, I think they're very close. I mean, when I made my list, my top 10 list, I said that KG is the first man out, so he's my number 11 all time. So I'm pretty high on him, like higher than most people, but still, like he's not higher than Tim Duncan for me. And the main reason is that KG's as good as he is at so many things. I don't really know if he's a 10 out of 10 at anything in particular in the basketball court, and that to me matters. Like, yeah, sure, offensively he's a good jump shooter, a good dribbler, a good passer, a good finisher, but he's not great at any of those things. And his offense is always inconsistent because of that. Tim Duncan was not really elite for a long time offensively. It was just his MVP years, but and a few years before that, so like 4 years maybe. So I do that does matter, but in those few years, he was probably at least more reliable in his role than KG at all of the roles he was asked to play. Now, I know you both agree that he shouldn't have been playing all of those roles. I know that. Like that's why on the Celtics, when he had a competent offensive team, he was at his best because he has Rondo playmaking, Ray Allen shooting, Paul Pierce creating. So, like, yeah, I get that he wasn't as fortunate as Duncan with the personnel, but I think Duncan in '03 did not have the personnel offensively, and he still carried in a way that I don't see KG ever doing because of him not being dominant enough at a specific area. And that goes to defense as well, because his defense is also great all around. But I actually disagree that he's this elite switchable player. Like, he's good at switch. I don't think he's a 10 out of 10. Like, he's not Draymond Green. He's not even OG Anunoby. He's just better than Duncan at it. But he's not someone that I would switch on Kobe and be like, yeah, he's going to. Or like even on Paul Pierce. Most of the players would cook him in the perimeter. Like I've seen Melo cook him on the perimeter. I've seen like Paul Pierce. I've seen many players just ISO him easily. It was not hard to get by KG when you drew him out to the 3-point line. So he was better than Duncan at that, sure, but he's not like a top 10 switchable player ever or anything like that. It's not like a part of his game that we can just look at and say, yeah, this is what separates him. And
Do you
even
think
his
he's
rim
better at that
protection.
at his best than like Anthony Davis?
at switching.
Yes.
Maybe relative to era,
Like
yes,
2016 to 2018 AD.
like maybe relative to era, yes, like compared to the big men of his
Still
era,
lost. Still
maybe.
lost.
But as a player, I do think AD is a better guard defender than KG. Like I've seen him do more against his ears. And by the way, this is also like maybe I could backtrack this because the guards in AD's era are much tougher to defend in general.
To defend, yeah, off the dribble.
So yeah, like AD doing better against them than KG doing against his guards is probably more impressive. So yeah, maybe AD is actually better on the perimeter. But yeah, the motor is the difference between them defensively, not the skills. Because KG has AD has the skills, but KG's motor defensively is just insane. And actually, that is another part that I wanted to mention. His motor is so high, but he's still human. He gets tired because of that. So he does take some plays off in a way that Tim Duncan didn't. Because Tim Duncan did better at, dividing his energy throughout the game. So that to me also matters. I disagree with the smarter defender thing. I think he was a smarter offensive player, but not a smarter defender than Tim Duncan. And by the way, one last thing, the defensive IQ thing. Mars, you said there are three players: Draymond Green, Bill Russell, and who else? KG. Yeah, you forgot one, Fred VanVleet.
Oh, you're right. You're right. You're right. My bad. So when you say Duncan's the best defender you ever seen, Hakeem's counted in that or no?
He is. I think Tim is better defensively than Hakeem, but just barely. But yeah, I do.
Interesting. You said a lot of things that I think are valid, a lot of things I disagree with, but a lot of things I think are valid. Obviously I disagree with the first part of best defender ever. I agree with so now I'm forgetting why I agreed with.
The versatility part.
Well, I don't think KG was a 10 out of 10 in terms of switchability. I agree with that part. I don't think many people were, to be fair. I'm talking about like Dennis Rodman on the Pistons.
Mhm.
I don't even know if like him.
Bam.
Maybe like
Potentially.
the best of Bam, like 2022-ish.
Mhm.
If you get a fully locked in LeBron, maybe him. But even him is a bit shaky. Draymond, probably a 10 out of
Draymond is
10.
definitely up
To be
there.
fair, Draymond is better at switching to guards because he's small enough. He's not actually that good at defending bigs. Like
He just put
I
Draymond just
agree.
played that time where the best big in the league was DeMarcus Cousins, and
and
then
he was still getting cooked by these
Andre
bigs.
dominant.
I saw
Yeah,
LaMarcus
I mean Dre was
Aldridge.
someone who couldn't guard Anthony Davis. Yeah, Draymond
Like
couldn't guard Anthony Davis.
old Pau Gasol was destroying him. LaMarcus Aldridge was destroying him. Anthony Davis was destroying him. A lot of bigs were destroying Draymond Green. He was better at switching, but that doesn't mean he's better 1 through 5. He's better 1 through 3 than most bigs. But 4 and 5, I don't know.
Yeah,
Well,
I
we
think that's
get
fair.
to a lot of truth right now, Amir, bud. Hey,
So,
hey,
I
long
think-
hair, Amir. Hey, yeah.
Oh, his
Let's
hair's
put 'em in
growing. Oh,
cooking.
whoops. So yeah, I think KG wasn't like the pinnacle of switchability. I still think what I said was in the league at the time he was the best, and I still think that. I don't think there was anyone. Depends how you feel about Ben Wallace on the outside, I guess. But I wasn't.
No. Tayshaun
Yeah,
Prince,
I
maybe
wasn't.
because Tayshaun could defend big men. Then he was a small forward, but like he was tall enough and big enough to defend big men. So he like 1 through 4, maybe Tayshaun Prince. James Boozy, but also he was a combo forward. Shane Battier, but also a combo forward. Like most of the players who could defend 4 positions were not centers. They were like combo forwards. So it's not it's hard to find a center that is switching, but there are players that are more switchable than he is, but they're not as good at defending centers as he is.
Yeah,
But he
I
was
guess
worth
I'd probably
saying.
prioritize
Ron
more the
Artest.
switching down part.
Oh, Ron Artest is a great pull. Yeah.
It's a good name, yeah.
Shout out to
I guess I was
Artest.
kind of prioritizing the more switching down as opposed to switching up part of it, which could just be an oversight on my part. Not saying it's not. So maybe I was a bit tunnel visioned on that in terms of he was the only big in the league that could really switch down, as opposed to thinking about wings who could switch down and up somewhat. But yeah, I still
Yeah.
think he was like the gold standard, but I'll just amend it a little bit. The
I
gold
just
standard for big
remember
at the
there is
time
one
in terms of
aspect
switching.
there. Yeah, there is one aspect of when he named Ron Artest, he reminded me of something. In the 2000s, most of the players who would be power forwards today switching down were small forwards.
Mhm.
Like Ron Artest was 6'8", 260, and he was playing the small forward.
Mhm.
Just imagine a 260 player playing small forward right now. Even like at a lesser level, Dante Jones was like 245 playing small forward.
It was definitely a different time. I mean,
at
KG
6'8".
was only like 240 though, and KG would fluctuate.
Yeah, he
So,
was 7 feet tall though. Like I'm saying, like all of these 6'7" to 6'9" players, they were very heavy. I mean, James Posey was also like 235, 240, and he was a small forward as well. I
they
said
used to lift
Dante
weights,
Jones.
man. That's what Bron and them was talking about. They used to lift
Bruce
weights crazy.
Bowen. Bruce Bowen was also very heavy for his position compared to now.
That's why they didn't get hurt. You know what I'm saying? Because they was on
I
that
mean, these
iron.
guys were bigger than Kevon Looney and Brandon Clark. Rest in peace. And like,
Rest in peace, Brandon Clark.
yeah, like a lot of centers today are smaller than the average small forward of that era. It's crazy. Yeah.
That
So
was
yeah,
kind of the time, I think, late 90s, and I guess that was because of the physicality of the game, but weight definitely took a vast tick up. Because if you even look at 1970s and 1980s players, they're very
yeah,
thin.
they were very thin. Yeah,
Very
Yeah, but
it's
that's
late
because of that.
90s, it's late
So-
90s into the 2000s. Like even the what was the name of the
I
small
mean, you're
forward?
probably right, to be honest with you.
The guy with
Probably
Allen
right.
Iverson was also Allen Iverson also practically played with like 3 power forwards. He did not have any actual small forwards in his roster. Lynch
No,
and
they had Raja Bell coming off the bench. They had Raja Bell.
yeah, Raja Bell. But like, how big is Lynch again? He's very he looked big. I don't have his
6'9",
number.
maybe 6'9", maybe.
And that was
Yeah,
his
he was playing
small.
he's playing the three for them. Yeah, he was playing the three.
Yeah, he looked like 240 as well. And yeah, Eric Williams with the Nets and Richard Jefferson, of course. In his
Has,
prime, he was very strong.
yeah, that team had what, Tyronn Hill at the 4, the notorious floor spacer Tyronn Hill. The good old days. The league was just bigger,
He's facing
wider,
the floor with the
stronger.
sailboat.
Yeah, shout out to the good old
His
days.
force spacing is basically boxing the player out before he transitions to defense. And so, like, Allen Iverson attacks.
I would
That's his
consider
force
that
spacing.
spacing, you know what I'm saying? I would consider that spacing.
That's a good era, though. They were playing like Argentina.
That's the good old
Yeah.
days, man. That's what the game needs to get back to. None of this nonsense we see today, but it is what it is. Was there anything else you wanted to go off before we move on?
Was there anything else about Tim Duncan? Is it Giannis? Yeah, one last thing. I don't think Giannis is as good as either of them. He's like peak for peak. Yeah, you could argue it because he was the best player in the world.
Oh, this is your
But-
time, Roto.
But I don't think peak for peak. Yeah, but I don't think career wise it's even comparable. The guy keeps getting injured. He barely has any playoffs career. He has a championship, but he doesn't have a lengthy playoff career. Even KG, who missed the playoffs like 3 times in his prime, has more of a playoff career than Giannis. So I don't know. I don't know what I feel about Giannis being in that tier. He's like at his peak, he's probably better though. Like he's the best scorer for sure. But yeah.
It's the best offensive player, hands down.
Yeah. There's no
I
debate.
agree. I think he's the best offensive player. I agree.
Yeah, by far. I think there's there's probably an empty tier between them, or like not empty because you have like Charles Barkley, but Dirk Nowitzki as well. But that would be
Dirk is
like kind
better
of.
offensively than Giannis, but that's neither here nor there. But
I don't think Dirk is better than Giannis, but maybe on the same tier. Yeah.
they can be in the same tier as long as Dirk's name is first.
Anyway, I don't want to.
Are we saying as an offensive player?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I still think Dirk is the best offensive power forward ever. So, shout out to him.
Yeah, him and Giannis are up there. I think they're the.
It would have been cool if Dirk could pass a little bit, But I'm not mad.
Overrated when you can just score over a double. So,
I mean,
tell that to Kobe haters.
I stand with Kobe. If I can score the ball, where I need to pass it for.
Dirk actually benefited from the era that he played in. I know a lot of people think he would be better now. I disagree. Bigger wings.
I don't think it would be better today, to be honest.
Dirk today did benefit from back then.
I think he was able to play bigs that weren't used to guarding people like him.
But they put wings on him most of the time anyway.
Sometimes.
Most of the time.
Which is smart.
I would say sometimes.
Like he's matching up with the Spurs and it's Bruce Bowen guarding him.
I mean, why would you not put Bruce Bowen? Bruce Bowen is a smart choice.
Even then, Bruce is 2-3. And not even like a
wing. He's a wing.
Bro, the wings are better right now. Sorry.
The wings.
J-Dub on Dirk. I like J-Dub on Dirk more than Bruce Brown.
Come on, Bruce Bowen was.
Bruce Bowen.
I mean, that's fine, but
Bruce Bowen was
right off.
Bruce Bowen.
I like Evan Mobley on Dirk more than Bruce Bowen.
Evan Mobley won't pick up 3 fouls in about 4 minutes, but I guess there's no matchup. There's no. Yeah, just hands up, not facts. Yeah. Why didn't no one think of that back in the day, man? Why didn't no one think of that? Just put your hands up.
Stop jumping on pump fakes. Yeah.
No, you're right. Why do they keep jumping on Kobe's pump fake too? Like, just don't jump. Like,
I don't get jumping. I've never. Well,
you gonna say you never jumped on a pump fake?
Very seldom did I ever jump on a pump fake. You just gonna have to make that
Why did you jump? Like, why did you jump? So when you did jump, why?
Because they probably already made a few. But even then, I'm like, just gonna have to keep making that shit most of the time. Most of the time, though.
Until you jump. But salute.
Yeah, I don't want to take more time. And shout out Fred VanVleet. Shout out Andrei Kirilenko. Shout out Gianni Infantino, and good luck, everyone.
Shout out to Egypt in the World Cup, man. Merry Christmas. Couple super chats, and then we're going to bring up.
I saw Steven Jackson had Dirk in hell.
7?
Facts.
That was a bad time. You know who I seen have Dirk in hell that no one wants to talk about?
Who?
Tracy McGrady. Let's talk about it. 05. Go watch the tape. Go watch
another
the tape.
6'8", 6'9" body. Exactly.
Go watch the tape about those who tell you that Tracy McGrady ain't play defense. 05 Rockets versus Mavs. Go watch the tape. But it's cool. They lost in 7, but it's cool. You don't get out of the first round, but we play defense. Dobby Greg said, real talk, do you secretly think Kobe has the highest peak?
No, I don't think he has the highest peak. I think he is the epitome of basketball skill, though, at his best. Yes.
Interesting. And then Spanish Jose, why are you guys ignoring the 4-time DPOY, second all-time in blocks, Mount Mutombo? Is he not a better rim protector than AD, Duncan, and KG? I think he's definitely better than AD and KG. Is he a better rim protector than Tim Duncan? I'm going to ask you first, and then I'm going to answer.
When I watch Tim Duncan protect the rim, it's definitely not eye-popping, but it's very effective. So I don't think I've seen anybody be more effective at protecting the basket than Tim Duncan, maybe besides like Wemby now. But like, I don't know. I got Duncan.
I got Dikembe Mutombo. I actually think my bad, Dikembe, for forgetting about your existence. I apologize. Now, I do think Dikembe probably peaked defensively earlier, like more 90s some of the early like maybe like 2001. But once you start getting to like 02 and once you get to like Nets to Kembe, it's not the same. But younger Dikembe, I know he came in at like 65 years old, so take younger Dikembe with a grain of salt. But younger Dikembe, yeah, I think he's a better rim protector than Tim Duncan. I think younger Dikembe might be a top 5, just pure rim protector. Forget every other form of defense. Might be top 5 ever. Taserman17 said, as a Duncan Glazer, I've enjoyed this thorough look at his career, praise/slander. I view him like I view Nas in hip hop. 03 is his Illmatic season. I don't view them as GOATs. Defense KG 1, Tim 2. Yeah. I don't understand the music reference, but yeah, Tim Duncan's good, man. I just don't. My biggest issue with Tim Duncan is not that he is or isn't better than KG or that he is or isn't top 10. It's the idea that the same thing that you said about like Jokic and his fans, that he's seen as beyond reproach in these conversations. That's what bothers me. Like, KG may be worse than Tim Duncan. Giannis may be worse than Tim Duncan. The idea that he is just above all power forwards and they can't even talk to him in terms of who the better player is, that's where you lose me. Like, the idea that, shout out to friends over at Nerd Sesh, the idea that Tim Duncan is the 5th and 6th best player of all time, respectively. Meanwhile, I'm watching Kobe Bryant be at 12.
Crazy work.
Like, that's where you lose me. One thing I will never understand Tim Duncan being above Shaq. No matter how I try and look at it, I will never understand that. Because there's no way he's a better player than him. There's just no way. So, like, it's those types of things that throw me off. Not that Tim Duncan in the top 10, cool. Maybe you do have Tim Duncan in the top 5. Cool. Whatever. But the idea that he's just so far and away over the rest of these guys, that's what throws me off. So that's my disagreement. That's my biggest gripe. But shout out to Tim Duncan. Let's bring up Avery. He was the first person in here with that camera.
What's going on, fellas? How y'all doing?
Good, man. How you doing?
Good. Listen, man, a couple things to get off to y'all. I sent a super chat about it. I don't know if you guys read it yet, but basically I said that I've realized that when it comes to the NBA, there is a big amount that like marketing and narratives go into place. And so I think the tag of Tim Duncan being labeled as the greatest power forward to me has elevated his status above what it should be. Even though to me, greatest power forward is still probably not like a top 5-ish center. You know what I mean? Or it's not a top 2-ish.
Oh, you're the one who said 3 in his era or above him.
Yeah, okay. I had to hop out for a second. So y'all did read that super chat. Yeah, I mean, listen, how can I say Tim Duncan's top 5 where I got multiple guys when he played with that I saw that were better than him? Like Kobe, Shaq, Bron. Those 3 to me like clear Tim Duncan. And so it's like top 5 I'm not seeing, but I think the reason people say it is because he has held his status for a long time as like, oh, he's the best power forward. And it was kind of like you said, Mars, like beyond reproach. That's the way people viewed it, at least. And so that kind of helped his status. Well, you got the best player at one position, so he's got to be a top 10 player all time because he's the best power forward ever. Where it's like, okay, well, look at the center position. The center position is stacked. Look at the shooting guard position. Shooting guard is stacked. Point guard is stacked. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, he's the best power forward, or used to be maybe. But yeah, so that's one thing I'm thinking. The narratives thing is one point. And then to me, I think the reason I don't have Duncan as high, I don't know if you remember, Mars, some years ago, I probably came on like the open gym, and I was talking about possibly maybe give me peak AD over Tim Duncan too, peak for peak, because to me the offensive gap, that's the difference to me. The offensive gap is a big difference. Just the scoring ability. You talk about somebody that kind of he's giving you a consistent 23, 24 efficient, but it's just not quite moving you the same way of other guys who can like score more like a Giannis, or I've seen AD go crazy more often, you know what I mean? And so that was the thing to me with like AD. Okay, AD is a great defender. I have to say peak as well because, you know, injuries. Yeah, if you want to say injuries, yeah, that's one thing not looking good for AD. But at his peak, oh yeah, he's giving you more scoring. He's giving you more versatility, especially in today's NBA. So those are some reasons to me, man. So just to me, the scoring with Duncan, I'm here. Even I put in a little private chat. I'm here for the Giannis over Duncan too. Peak for peak, yeah, I'd rather have Giannis, man. Peak for peak, if he can stay healthy. That's another thing too. Giannis kind of getting injury tax now too. But yeah, I think the scoring, it just leaves a lot to be desired for me, man. It leaves a lot to be desired for me with Tim Duncan, especially if you compare him to some of the other guys.
I would agree. Also, to the one saying that we spoiled something, the list is public. Otherwise, we wouldn't have known it.
Yeah, they
The
posted the
list
whole
is
top
on
50 on
Twitter.
Twitter.
It's on Twitter.
Like you got
So
still what you still got to watch their video to get the
yeah,
context of why they had whoever they had. And all I said was they had Tim Duncan at 5 and 6. And you don't even know why. It was probably some nonsense about anchoring defenses for a long time. But
for sure. I mean, that is
you
for
know,
sure what it is. But
you
back
know,
to you, what you were saying. I do agree. I have heard people come to this conclusion. Well, I mean, he's the greatest power forward ever, and so point guard, point guard, small forward.
that's how
Like,
Pirate does his list. Yeah,
like,
Pirate
oh,
has
if you're the
his list of
best point,
starting five.
it's similar to a Magic Johnson. Oh, if he's the best point guard or ever, right? Then gotta be top
three.
5. 'cause,
Yeah. Top, they go further with Magic. They say top 3. Yeah. Yeah. Some people.
Yeah.
And the reality
And
is,
it's
I
like-
just have 5 centers in my top 10. That means the power forward might not make it.
exactly.
Is what it is.
Oh, how is Kobe in top 3 conversations? He's not even the best at his position. Yeah, because the best at his position is Michael Jordan, who is also in the like. It's never made sense to me. So yeah, I definitely think that's part of it because he's been deemed the best at that position. It's like, oh, well, there's probably 5 positions. He has to be in that conversation or whatnot.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of pundits on television arrive to that conclusion like that. Now, as far as people online, I don't hear that really as much, but that's definitely like an ESPN take for sure.
But then it becomes also like you got the accolade merchants where you look up like his basketball reference. It's really tough to compete with. Like, you know what I'm saying? The 15 All-Stars, 15 All-NBAs. I think got like 15 All-Defensive. That's where, 5 championships. That's where it's like, okay, yeah, let me give it to this guy. But then when you watch them play, and I thought Real Talk, you brought up a good point about like people being the number one on their team and having that offensive responsibility. And then to me, when you're not scoring as much, that's where I have to ding you a little bit, just for me personally. And so slightly related, let me get off something else real quick. Slightly related. Speaking of another Spur, Kawhi Leonard at one point, right? I think also to me, people have also similarly kind of elevated Kawhi as an offensive player. This is not all the way related, but just hear me out. They've elevated Kawhi a little bit because, like, to me, he has the tools and the skill set to be like that. But then to me, he never really had the volume of some of the tier 1 all-time scorers. Like, he's a great shot maker, great mid-range. But once again, if you're giving me that efficient 23, 24, that's different than someone else giving me a consistent 30 or something like that, if that makes sense. And so that's kind of also how I feel about Duncan. Yeah, he can score. He has moves, you know what I'm saying? He can score. He can do a lot on the court, but then he's just not doing it at the same volume. But yet he's elevated to some places where other people like a Giannis Antetokounmpo, which has been averaging like over 30 for years now, or like a Pete Anthony Davis, who I could see like, yo, AD, and this is the thing almost related to like a Giannis or to Kawhi. Some guys that are just so good scoring, just on an off random night, you could just go for 40 randomly. Like, I'm that good offensively. You can look up and it won't be a surprise to go for 40. And that's where I think that like Duncan, and to the Kawhi point, until this year, Kawhi kind of went crazy this year. But you just wouldn't see that from Kawhi. You can look up his like 40-point games. That's an arbitrary number. But the point I'm saying is that he wouldn't have those high scoring volumes as other people who just on a random night, I'm hot, I'm just going to go fill it up. It's Tuesday. Why not? I got it going. You wouldn't really see that from a Kawhi, but he would hit timely shots and his team would get wins, similar to Duncan, where that 23 was impactful. But it's like, well, another guy will give me 35 or something like that. I don't know if that makes sense to you guys. Hopefully I explained that point clearly. But yeah, basically the offensive engine being the number one option, it just wasn't there for Duncan for me.
No, I agree with what you're saying. By the way, I've made similar arguments like this before. Like, yeah, the guys that go out there to get their 23 a night very efficiently, kudos to you. But the guy to me that's averaging 30, it's maybe
different.
not as efficient, but he's a better scorer if it's on any kind of decent efficiency. It doesn't have to be your efficiency to be deemed a better scorer. So I agree wholeheartedly with everything you just said. And
Mars? Anything, Mars?
I mean, well, I think scoring is all relative. I don't think like Kevin Garnett in 2004 was like second in the league in scoring. He averaged 24 points.
Mhm.
Like it's just a different time. I just watched Cam Thomas average 24 in 2025.
Fair.
Like it's not. So I do think it has to be relative to like the pace of play at the time, league average efficiency, all of those things.
Mhm.
So I can't just be like, oh, well, 28 today, and then this guy only averaged 23 back then. I
True.
think that would be that's a bit disingenuous. But I do think like guys like
But
Kevin
even
Garnett, Tim Duncan,
Anthony
they are the
Davis?
highest volume guys.
Yeah, but even outside of like the one season, I don't have like I'm just on the phone here, so I can't look it up. But I feel like I know for sure Giannis has had multiple seasons being like top 5 in the league. I feel like Anthony Davis might also have multiple seasons too, like that as well. So that's where I'm saying now you have some guys who are, you know what I mean? So KG's got the one season, like you said, 04, but how many other seasons? So I'm not just taxing him for that. But I know around that same time, he did play with like a Shaq who was putting up, you know, really big numbers too. So that's where I'm thinking with the Duncan of skill. I saw him. Give me Shaq over him because of the offense as well. Give me Kobe over Duncan as well. I know Bron, his peaks didn't necessarily line up, but he played for so long and he gets credit for all those years. So I got actually, you know what? Their peaks kind of did line up because they give him all the All-Stars. They give him all the rings he won. Like you said, you guys talked about 08 and past. So yeah, you know what I mean? Like it just wasn't quite the same. So even if you were to scale it for error, like Duncan's scoring still wasn't to that level of, like I said, a Giannis or AD.
Oh, AD, I hesitate. Giannis, yeah, I don't think,
okay.
I don't think Duncan is the scorer Giannis is, regardless of relative to error,
Mhm.
wherever the adjustments may be. Anthony Davis,
But then if we talk about peak though, that's what I'm saying. If we talk about like single season or so, even 2 seasons, it's kind of like that, Mars. It's kind of like that, man. I mean, not only just the shooting,
but overall, but
yeah.
I'm not gonna let that sway from like. I think AD in the grand scheme of things is more so in the bucket of the guy you were talking about that's like 23, 24 a night, but he's not having a lot of these scoring outbursts as far as compared to some of the other all-time great like scores.
True. But Pelicans AD did kind of get him up though, and even still, I still appreciate that.
He's averaging 28. Yeah, he was averaging 28 in the one.
Yeah,
2018. Yeah.
No, he was a really good scorer. He might have peaked higher in the regular season as a scorer than Tim Duncan. I'm not to say he didn't score well in the playoffs as well. I'm not saying that.
No.
And then it just comes down to like the overall skill set of it, and like Tim Duncan's isolation game, blah blah blah, versus AD's more face up, pick and roll game.
Yeah, but with a good guard too, which
AD might be a better scorer. He might be. Yeah, he might.
I think he's a better lob threat for sure. I guess what are they in transition? I feel like maybe comparable in transition. Either one crazy to me in transition, not like that.
AD was a bad free throw shooter.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, it's stuff there, man. It's stuff there. So I feel like people need to maybe get rid of the
AD. I might be sleep.
Hey,
I might be sleep.
And Morris, hold on. Another thing too. You definitely. Here's the thing. Y'all went back and forth about this, but even though you're high on other people, you still are technically low on AD. Still though, real talk, we got to push back against that. It's both at the same time, Mars. You're literally high on other people, but then also you're not as high on AD. You're lower on AD than others as well. You know what I mean? Because AD really liked that, man. I was hesitant some years ago. I don't know if you remember that conversation on Open Gym, but I was kind of hesitant. Like, yo, can I say this? This might have been like 23 or something. Can I really say out loud on public like AD over Duncan? But yo, we here now. Bump it, man. You know what I'm saying? We're here now.
I still don't think he's better than Duncan. He might be a better scorer. He might be a better scorer than AD. He might be a better scorer like peak AD 2018 through like 2017 through like 2020. That AD may be a better scorer than Tim Duncan. He may be.
Then the switchability, you know, I like that on defense, especially in today's
He's a more
NBA.
versatile defender too. He's a more versatile defender for sure.
Yeah, man. Listen, even in the playoffs, man, Gardner Murray was frying him, but I still like what AD was doing though. He was right there. He wasn't getting fried like blown by fried. He was getting fried like, okay, contested shot, fading way crazy, just barely over him. So yeah, I like when AD's on a lot of matchups switched up. I still kind of feel comfortable as if you're rooting for the team. So yeah, that's it, fellas. Appreciate the time, man. Appreciate the time.
Appreciate you pulling up. Yeah, appreciate you,
man.
All right. Y'all take care.
You too. Shout
Merry
out Avery.
Christmas.
Shout out Amir, man. Back to back great. Yes.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Let's get our next guest. Christopher, welcome. I
What's
see the
up,
Cade
y'all?
jersey in the back.
What's up?
I think you've been up here before, if I remember correctly.
A while ago. I'm finally glad I can push this KG over Duncan agenda. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Like, only thing I've really come to grips with is like Duncan's the better scorer, I think, than KG. Everything else, passing, we clear. Like, we clear.
Clear facts.
Defending, versatility, it's not, oh my God, it's a wash.
Facts.
And then when we got real defenders in 08, we leading the greatest defense ever.
Facts.
So Kobe, we're talking. I'm with you. I don't know why. Like in the 2000s, all the commentary I watched back, everybody got Kobe over Duncan. Now that it's Duncan's better than Kobe now.
It's
Like I
actually hilarious to watch.
It's very funny
in
now.
real time.
I'll be hearing Chill. I'll be like, Chill, you was literally there. Like you were there. You heard it. And then Shaq, it's not even a convo. Hakeem is not a convo for me either. Steph, I've got Steph over him. I don't know if this is a hot take. I got KD over him.
Real talk, too scared to stand on that. So
KD, the longevity for KD is it's getting crazy right now. He's been all NBA level since what? 2010, right?
top 5 since 2010.
Like it's crazy, bro. So yeah,
top
I got
5.
Steph.
I'll just say that top 5.
Yeah, top 5. Yeah. When did he stop becoming top 5? Like 2022?
Last time I think KD was top 5-ish anyway was probably like 2022. Ever since then he was probably like done with that. He might not have been top 5 in 2022, but he was in and around it at least.
Like when he went to the Suns, that's when I think he stopped being like top 5-ish combos.
That's fair.
How much of this, like the KD longevity, though, is to me a tad
about
bit?
To say some haters.
Are you about to say some injuries?
Because of the injuries?
Yeah, I'm about to say the injuries tag. I can see.
Yeah, you have seasons where he's playing, you know.
Oh no! I'm with you. KD is still. He's like 25th, I think, all time in minutes played.
Yeah, that is. Oh wow, I didn't know he was that long.
Yeah, so it's not like in comparison, like Tim Duncan is like 15th, I think. So,
but how many more minutes is that though? Like,
oh, I don't know. I don't even know the exact numbers. I'm pretty sure KD's top 25, and Tim. Let me look. Let me actually. Let me do my job.
You looked at. I'm just letting this. If Kobe had a series where at the final series where Paul Gasol was like outplaying him, like Mano did at 05 versus the Pistons, do y'all think Mano
It's 3,000 minutes difference.
Damn. Do y'all think Mano outplayed Tim Duncan at 05 versus the Pistons?
Yes.
What about you, Real Talk?
Last time I watched it.
I want you to say something.
No, I'm saying I haven't watched it recently. I have to go back. When we look, even if you watch something once,
I feel you got to watch it.
If you still probably got to go back and watch it again. But my takeaway was that Manu played better. I think Manu, for majority of my lifetime watching he was their best offensive player. He was like their best player. Period. For me,
the defense is kind of
Manu defense being slept on, but it's fine.
He was a great defender, but Duncan is kind of anchor or something.
05 to 2011, Manu Ginobili was the Spurs' best player.
All I'm saying
he just was. And then from 12 to 14, Tony Parker was their best player. Absolutely. And then in 2015 and 16,
it's Kawhi. It's
Kawhi. Yeah.
So from 05 onwards, so that's 11 years of Tim Duncan's career. 05 to 2016. Tim Duncan wasn't the best player on his team, in my opinion. Now I know I'm in like a 1% minority who think Manu Ginobili was better than mid-2000s Tim Duncan. I don't care. In my opinion, Manu Ginobili was the Spurs' best player. But it's cool. People don't want to acknowledge greatness when it's in front of them and it's Argentinian and losing his hair. So cool.
Or
Shout out to
even
Manny,
Tony Parker being the best player on that team to me.
That's crazy.
It's not too far fetched once you get to like 07, 08,
I think
09,
Rondo still better.
2010.
So are you
'cause
arguing that Tim Duncan was the third best player on the team?
I mean, he's driving a lot of their offense.
No, I'm
He's
not
Tony
saying you're
Parker
wrong.
was
I'm just asking if you are making that claim.
I plead the fifth on that, but like it's not as crazy as some people would think it is. I'd say that.
I might be asleep on
Interesting.
Tony. I might need to go back and watch Tony.
I've got higher on Tony Parker in recent times. I feel like part of why I used to be low on Tony was because I felt in order to push the Ginobili prop, I had to like
Be
make
lower.
it clear that Ginobili was better than Tony Parker. So I would like dismiss how good Tony Parker was to try and make that claim. When the reality is Ginobili can stand on his own and I can still think he's the best player on the team without having to bring down Tony Parker to do that. Tony
Correct.
Parker was amazing. Yeah, Tony Parker was
He
amazing.
was.
He was
He
one
was
of
That first
he was
step
one
is
of he was
crazy.
one of the best point guards in the league. Now he wasn't like Chris Paul, Steve Nash,
That's
Darren
why I used to be
Williams.
asleep on Tony because they used to say stuff
Like
like
those 3-point guards are probably better than him in like the mid 2000s. But then what? He was the fourth best point guard in the league, unless I'm forgetting someone.
this before like Russ and them came
Who did
along.
you name?
I said Chris Paul, Steve Nash, Darren Williams. That's like
This
the
before
three
like
guards.
Russ and
Point guards
Steph
probably
and
better.
D Rose.
I mean, you
and all
get Gil for a couple years. I would say Gil was better in like 05 to
Yeah.
like 07 range until
Mhm.
Gil fell off.
that. Yeah.
But then Tony, am I
Um,
forgetting someone?
Depends on how high you are on a
J
guy
Kid was
like.
still good.
J Kidd?
Kid was still good. J Kid
He was
was
still
still
a good
good.
defender with the
Yeah, that was
Mavs.
the name I was going to say. How high are you on a guy like Baron Davis
Ooh.
for a
I
few
think
of those years?
Mm.
Even though I know he's probably
Baron Davis
very-
post 07. Ooh.
I think Tony Parker is better than Baron Davis.
I
Who else
like
is
Baron.
there?
I feel like Baron Davis would have done better in today's game when he could just launch
Big
threes
guard.
consistently. Yeah,
Foul drawing. Hey man,
getting
BD would have been
steals.
tough. BD would have been
Yeah.
tough.
open court when he was an athlete. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
No, I
just
would say
said,
Tony Parker is probably a top 5 point guard in the league
Okay.
from like 07 to like 2014. Is that true?
I mean, once we get to like 20.
You said up to
12.
2011, right? You said to
Oh,
2011?
Chauncey.
07 to
Chauncey.
2014 is why I said. Oh, Chauncey.
I'm
like,
taking Chauncey in like a.
06. Yeah, I'm
Oh,
taking
yeah.
Chauncey.
Wait.
I'm
You
taking
taking-
Chauncey like 09.
You taking Tony Parker?
Until we tore his Achilles for real.
Yeah.
Nah,
That's,
You taking
maybe,
Tony
maybe,
Parker
maybe.
over like 2012 to 2014 Russ?
no.
I'm not taking him over 2014 Russ for sure.
Well, I'm about to say,
Nah.
man, if
2012
Russ,
and 2013, shit, maybe I don't know.
if Russ didn't hurt his knee with Pavel doing that dirty shit, they making it back to the finals.
Okay, so let's think about it. So 07, I'm taking Gil, Chris Paul,
Chris Paul,
Chauncey, Steve
Steve
Nash.
Nash. Oh, I forgot about Nash. Yeah, he never was better than Nash. So
That's
like
4.
D Will not up there in 07? I don't know. So I'm just asking.
I have a bias for Darren Williams, so
He might
I
not be
don't-
top 5. He might not be top 5. Let me push it to when Steve Nash fell off. Let's get Steve Nash out of there. We'll go to 2011. We'll go to 2011.
D Rose.
Yes, you got Chris Paul, Derrick Rose.
D Will.
That's when he
Wait,
just gets to New
stop.
Jersey, and that's when he
Listen.
starts being.
That's when he started
stinky.
falling. Yeah.
Hold on.
Maybe-
when we first got to New Jersey, we was still hooping.
Nah,
No.
Nah,
When we first got there,
man,
we were still.
that's when D Will just won point ball and hoop or nothing, man. Like
Is it his highest scoring year in New Jersey?
I might be wrong. Hey, this is the thing. When we do shows live, we might be getting a few things
That's
mixed
why
up.
I
in
said
the
I
year.
want to look.
I'm almost guaranteed. I'm looking it up right
Man,
now.
he got to New Jersey and was shooting 35% from the field.
Oh no!
Wait.
Yeah, 12 games. But man. And then the next year, he's shooting 33 from 3.
Yeah, when we first year in New Jersey, yeah, this is his highest scoring year of his career.
But what was he doing when he just got traded to New? Because we're about the 2010-2011 season.
Oh,
that's what we're talking about.
Then he was ass, but that was 12 games. So I mean,
that's what I'm saying. Like but see, so my mind didn't betray me. My mind was correct, kind of.
When I said first got there, I'm saying our first full season.
Year, the first full year.
Ew.
I mean, it's still not the same as Utah D Will though. Like, I'm looking at 2010 D Will is like in my mind. That's Darren Williams right there.
That's Darren Williams.
That's probably his best. Yeah,
that's Darren Williams right there. Now we've got Darren Williams out here 45% from 2. Like, come on, man. That's not. It's not it. Like, it's just.
I mean, 2010 he was 47. It's not like. Wait, hold on. Am I looking at?
No. He was 50% from 2, 47% from the field.
I was looking at the wrong
It's not the same, man.
What's
the
turnovers
went up to 4. Like, come on, it's not the same.
So you got Parker over D Will in 11.
Yeah, I'll probably go with Tony Parker over Darren Williams in 11. So I'll probably go Chris Paul, Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose.
There's no rush there.
Is this when? Yeah. When did Mike Conley start hooping?
No.
All of these times started like.
Mike Conley was cool, but I wouldn't put him here. And Mike Conley ain't really get to like the levels where, I mean, highest paid player in the league was always crazy. But like 2013, 2014 is probably when Mike Conley really started.
When they make the conference finals.
Mike Conley for real. Well, they were in the conference finals in 11. No, that was the semifinals. They lost to OKC.
I was like 13 because they beat OKC, I think. And then they made it to the conference finals and got swept.
Yeah, you're right. So 11 they lost to OKC in game 7. 13 they beat them because that was the year Russ got hurt.
Russ got Pat Bev dirty ass.
Yeah, so I would say 2011, Tony Parker was a top 5 point guard in the league.
Top 5
until like 2014 ish.
Imagine KG had a player like that his whole career.
We had Sam Cassell go to the conference finals, and Sam Cassell gets hurt.
And he got hurt. We wanted point guard. We got to.
Still would have lost to COVID now, but you know.
I mean, I'm not saying they would have beat the Lakers.
But
what I am saying is,
look at the.
I don't think there's a player in history who's more unlucky than Kevin Garnett for like the first 10 years of his career. It's like the definition of bad luck, but you know, it is what it is. It happens to the best.
Request a trade like a real man.
Sorry, I apologize.
Real talk, you so nasty, bro. I got Giannis.
Do you want money or do you want to win?
Oh, you got Giannis
signing those extensions?
Yeah, I think his peak is because it's hard for me, Giannis. Because I think his offensive peak is like clearly like these past couple, but 19 through 21, Giannis, like defensively, what he's doing. Oh my God, man! Like that breakup lob is like I don't think nobody else in probably NBA history could do that. That lob versus
ironically, I think KG could do it, but you know.
Oh, I mean, yeah, that's the goal. So like, you know, but like, and then
I still don't know what I think Giannis's peak is.
That's what I'm saying, but
which I think is impressive for Giannis. Like when we did it the other day on PC, and we was ranking the peaks and Embiid, Jokic, and everyone said a different year for Giannis.
Oh, I got Embiid peak over Jokic too. When I was watching that video. I'm sorry. I'm in BFC, so like I'm very biased towards it.
You know, but see, I realize I like this guy, man. He know ball.
24 Embiid is the best player we've seen this decade. I'm sorry, though. I have not seen a player come close to that. Bro, talk the stuff he was doing on a nightly basis, bro. Oh my God, he was so fun to watch, man.
Real talking Embiid hates us, so he not going.
How many games did he play that year?
Don't hate.
39.
Don't do this. And then we put
plus 5 in the playoffs, so 44.
That's what I'm saying. We put 50 on Hardenstein and Robinson with our eye messed up, our knee messed up.
Oh no, 6 in the playoffs, 45 games. My fault.
Like,
45 games.
Nigga got packed up by Jalen Brunson. I guess.
My bad, I guess. Yeah, my fault.
I didn't know Josh Hart was turning to KD.
Best player of this decade getting packed up by Jalen Brunson. I mean,
well, Jokic just got packed up by Jaden Daniels. Like, I'm sorry.
My fault, I guess.
I
went out with 39, by the way. I guess it's
who the best
fault.
player of the decade did? Giannis?
Yeah.
He got packed up by AC, didn't he? And Tyrese Halliburton.
Oh, now you switching it to AC.
I'm just saying.
Jimmy Butler, who was out there playing like Michael Jordan? No. Okay.
Josh Hart shoot like KD. What you want Embiid to do?
Shit.
Yeah, that is the Josh Hart series. Oh my God, that shit was crazy.
He couldn't miss, bro.
I want him to move.
The thing is, Embiid's defense was fine in that series too. So trying to get that shit off is crazy. But you know, salute.
Man, he's big and he's played drop. Congrats.
I told 15 to be big and play drop. Like, it was like
you're gonna make me hate on AD, and I don't want to. I'm a Laker fan. I don't want to do that.
Then don't do it. I ain't making you do nothing you don't want to already do. So go ahead and get your hate off.
I
don't know why you're an Embiid hater. For all the things that you value in terms of like a basketball player, I don't think you should be hating.
No, I think that from what I saw of him, I mean, I'm there with a lot of people, but it's like we're talking about it's like 39 games. I'm sorry, I'm just not.
I mean, my bad that Jonathan Kuminga landed on my leg. I apologize.
Whatever the reason may be, I need a bigger sample size than less than half of the year. I'm sorry.
I'm just saying, if AD did that, you would be saying the same thing we said.
Excuse me, not for 39 games. No.
How many games he play in the bubble? 20?
What? We were already over halfway through that season. What are you talking about?
No.
He started shooting like Dirk in the bubble.
Bubble AD when he's shooting 50% from mid-range and doesn't miss from 3. That's what, 20 games?
That's what the version of AD is talking about.
I mean, that's
he gonna say it's playoffs. He gonna say it's
You're not gonna play. There's no way to get to 30 games in the playoffs. Unless you go 7 games every single time.
There's still 20.
And even then, it's 28. Games, yeah. So
you got to go in the play-in, play 2 games in the play-in, and then go 7 games in every series. Then you can get to 30 games. There you go. 30 postseason games. That was a whole postseason of less games than 24 Joel Embiid.
Wait, real talk. Who you pick? You have higher, Embiid or Jokic?
Some hater shit. Look up.
See, I'm like, if you start, I don't know why y'all don't use the 23 season more often than the.
Because I think he was just noticeably better.
Then use the 23 season. It's your opinion. Whenever you think Jokic peaks, use Jokic's peak.
Well, I think Jokic's best season.
I'm not mad at 23 Embiid being better than any version of Jokic. I'm not mad at that. I don't
think 23 Embiid was better than 23 Jokic, but.
Yes, yeah. Y'all love that 73.
Embiid was the right. I thought Embiid was
I
the
mean,
right for MVP.
First of all, yeah, 70 true shooting is crazy. So let's just not write that off as if it means nothing.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, Jokic didn't stink it up on defense in 23. And Embiid wasn't as good on defense in 23 as he was in 24. And Embiid also got notably better on offense in 24 as well. Like 24 Embiid is just notably better. Yeah. 24 Embiid was when he could navigate a double team. Like, I don't think people are understanding what was going on with 24 Embiid. Like 23 Embiid is notably worse than he was in 24. 24 Embiid, we was talking like you can't double Embiid no more. That was the year. That was the season. And I know Real Talk will remember this. That was the year he gave the Lakers a triple-double in like 25 minutes. That was that season, 24. Like, that was the year we was getting from Embiid. It was, okay, we can't double him no more. The mid-range is automatic.
One-on-one, he's killing.
His defense has been amazing, and he's the most automatic scorer in the league. What do you do with that? That's what we was getting from 24 Embiid. It was just a very different Embiid to 23, who I still think him winning MVP is valid. Do I agree with it? Like, would I have given it to Jokic? Yes. But it was still
When people
a
say
valid
it's a robbery, I hate it, bro.
Yeah, I don't think it's a robbery. He
I
played
hate
at an
that shit.
MVP level. But
Like-
24 was demonstrably a better player.
He was going to win it
Why
unanimously.
statistically, like he was just at a completely different level. Like completely different. So yeah, I'm gonna use those 39 games and say that's the best Embiid ever was. And really, is it 39 games or is it more so like 32 games? Because like his last 7 games of the season when he came back isn't
Yeah, he
really
was
the
kinda-
same, even though he was still
yeah.
really good and he was really good in the playoffs. It's really up until he got hurt against the Warriors. From that point, once again, box scoring, it was 36, 11, and 6 on 54, 37, 88 splits.
With
Like-
great defense.
While being a top 5 defender, in my opinion, at that point, there weren't 5 defenders better than him. Like I don't
Best
think
player we've seen.
we need to acknowledge the greatness as it was unfolding. And also they weren't losing, which was another thing. He was just
And that roster
They were
was not that good.
they were 26-7 until he got hurt against the Warriors. When he played 26-7 when he played, because he missed 3 games. So they missed 3 games here. They went 0-3, 0-4, 2-4, 2-5, 2-6, 2-7, 3-7 in the 10 games he missed. And then he missed another 2 here. So 3-7, 3-8, 3. They went 3-9 in the 12 games he missed up until the Warriors game, and they were 26-7 when he played.
And that's 32 games that you're bringing up. The fact,
32.
the reason why y'all can remember those 32 games is because he played 32 games. If I were to look throughout I'm not calling a player.
25, 26 Jokic.
I'm not calling exactly. I was going to bring that up.
That's the best,
reason why
and I was saying
everybody's like,
that's
"Oh my
Jokic
goodness, this is the
That's
best
the best
offensive
Jokic
player.
we've seen.
This is the best." Yeah, but
That's the
you
best
have to
Jokic has ever
continue
been, in my
that.
opinion.
You have to continue that for a season for me to deem you that player the best player of the decade. I'm not ranking you the best player of the decade off 32 goddamn games. I'm just not doing it. Sorry.
I mean, if that's
Y'all can do that.
Have you seen anyone play? Have you seen anyone play
All I'm
better
saying,
than him?
I haven't. I'm not
Have
saying
you
to say,
seen
like,
have you watched a player
that's what I'm saying.
and
Like, I
thought
watched
he's
him.
better than that?
I
Like,
didn't think nobody.
that's
I would have to think about it. I don't know.
okay,
I'm not
but
saying like as
no,
a whole.
if you'd have to think about it, that means he's in the conversation. That's close enough for me. Like, there you go. That's close enough for me. Because you don't know definitively, oh yeah, this player is better than that guy. You don't know that. So you know what? Cool. Fine by me. He's in the conversation. We'll take him. Thank you very much. Shout out to Joel Embiid. You will not be forgotten. Shout out to the 70-point game. Shout out to the 50 on Rudy Gobert.
Oh my god!
There were so many moments. There were so
I'm
many.
gonna go watch it when we get done.
Oh man, that was
the specials.
man. Giving teams 50 and 3/4. It may have been the Wizards, but it was 50 and 3/4.
Triple doubles in 25 minutes. Like
double on the AD and the Lakers.
He was flying every big man defender. Like
gave Denver, I know, a 40-point double that year. The good old days.
I mean, we always kick Jokic at like it's he can't fuck with us. Even though in the Olympics on one leg, we were still frying Jokic.
I mean, Jokic had a cool little game that game. He had like 20. So, shout out to him. 24 Embiid is better than Tim Duncan, by the way. But
oh yeah.
Neither here nor there.
Before I get out of here, we'll talk.
Go ahead, yeah. Go ahead.
Can I ask one more question? How do you feel about all Lakers?
Oh my God.
I got to get this off.
They're good. They're a solid team. Second round exit. You know,
my other friends, they Lakers, they trying to cope with this. I said, dude, we traded 3 picks for Walker fucking Kessler, brother. I can't cope with that, bro. We blew our load.
I don't like that either, but it doesn't mean that we suck though.
No,
I do think I think people are like people are a tad bit.
We always gonna be a good regular season
overreacting right now to the Lakers. Yeah, the Lakers aren't bad. The Lakers aren't bad. They're not. They're not great, but they're not bad.
I'm looking through the lens of like, what is a championship team with Luka Doncic? You know, because I know this is not it.
I mean, this isn't it. That's for damn.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is not it. And also, I'm like, maybe it take time, but Rob gotta go, bro. Like he's so bad, bro.
I do think it is time for Rob Pelinka to go.
He's got to go.
I will say that. I will definitely say that it's time.
I didn't see how did you feel about the Reeves contract?
Overpay. I mean, you probably have to do it to keep him, but overpay.
Like,
There were reports coming out that the reason why they got up to 40-something million is because Detroit was willing to match them all the way up until 40-something million. So I guess, man, but Reeves 45 mil.
See, that's
God
crazy because I
bless.
think he actually would have fit better in Detroit because they got a lot of defense to help him.
I agree. I've been saying that.
Like that would have been a
Him
perfect
and
fit for
Cade
him.
is a better
And then
pairing.
because both we got two cones and we got it like over leverage for. And then we got fucking Jake LaRavia at the three right now. Who is our three? Who is our wings? Like who are our wings, bro? That's what I want to know.
I'd probably start Quentin Grimes. I don't know.
Like we couldn't keep Marcus
If
Smart.
we sign Matisse Thybulle, does he start? Because he's better than Jake LaRavia.
He has to start. Like we couldn't keep Marcus Smart, bro. Like I wanted to keep
we
Marcus
are ass.
so
Now
bad.
that I think about it, we ain't got no goddamn.
Bro, we have no wings.
We don't have no wings, bro.
Who is our backup big? I'm thinking about it.
We also don't have a backup center. Yeah.
Oh my god. Why is it Looney? Oh my god.
Oh yeah, we have a Looney. Yeah.
Hey Walker, we need a big healthy season for you, brother. Oh my gosh. All right, y'all. Thank y'all for having me on.
All right, man.
Yeah, thanks for being here. Merry Christmas.
Jesus Christ. Looney is our backup center. Big 2026. If that, bro, I am going to be 1,000% not objective about Luka Doncic next year, and I hope y'all are ready. If Luka does another year of fucking David 34, 9-9, and the Lakers win anywhere close to 50 games, that's the MVP. I don't give a damn about Shea having a 67 true shooting. I don't give a damn about Wemby. 8 foot stand at the rim. Now you can't rim. Yeah, duh. Fuck it. We know that. Hey, Luka does 34, 9-9 again, and this team wins 52 games. That is the MVP. Period, point blank. That's the MVP. So tired of the Luka disrespect, man. Should have been the MVP last year, to be honest with you. But another conversation for another. We've been robbed twice, because the more I think about it, really, the last year should have won the MVP. 2024, damn sure should have been the MVP. I'm so over this Shea +7 gimmick. I'm telling you, y'all gonna call me a Shea hater next year. I'm telling you, I'm so over it. I'm so good. Oh my God, he can stab, set feet, bump midi 8 times a game, and then get to the free throw line another 8, and then he has 30 points on 67 true shooting. I don't give a fuck about that anymore. I promise you, I don't. Can you shoot a movement 3, bitch ass nigga? No. Oh, you still doing the same shit? Can you pass? Can you make a rim read to Chet more often? No, bitch ass nigga, you still doing push off, set feet? Cool, got it. This shit's not moving me anymore, buddy. Get better. Get better as a player. Fuck, nigga. Luka got better as a defender. Who showed more actual progress as a player last year? Luka actually got better at something. Because when that 3 ball for Shea got to the playoffs, fell off a cliff again. Was a brick from 3 yet again. We can continue.
Super chat from Big Ox Media said, "What is happening right now? I demand that you guys put an end to this immediately." Thanks for showing up right at the end, because the end is near. We will be putting an end to this. I don't think there was Tim Duncan slander today, to be honest. Damn. You got 5 minutes.
Hey, all I'm here for is KG prop. That's it.
You might have 6 minutes. Go ahead.
Nah, I mean, the hypotheticals get crazy with KG because like 09 was just putting a second heart into my chest and then just ripping them both out. It was just the worst thing ever. And then 2010, I'm of the mindset that if Perkins doesn't get hurt, that's a ring too. It's just I do play the hypotheticals game. I know it's annoying, but I don't know. I think I don't want to say his longevity is better, but it's up. I think he was more elite for longer, if that makes sense, than Duncan was. I think Duncan was able to be a more impact, like a better version of a role player longer. Like once he did whatever the hell he did in 13 to become an actual good player again. I remember KG just became fucking Brooklyn Nets KG, and then that's the wash video like Celtic Shaq. But yeah, I don't know. I've been this is the conversation I've been wanting to have for so long with my buddies because we're all Celtics fans, but so we're all of the KG over Duncan mindset. But it is, I heard you say it's just PR. It's literally just politically correct to say that Tim Duncan's better, and it's the most annoying thing ever just because he has rings or whatever. But I don't know. I think Garnett has better longevity when it comes to being a more elite player, I guess, not in the sense of being a NBA player.
I think a lot of rankings of these players are because of political correctness. There's no way. You know what? Hey man, that Magic Johnson shit is seeping through. So I'm sorry. There's no way you watch Magic Johnson and think, oh, he's a top 5 basketball. There's no way. Just no way.
Yeah.
Just to me, it's just no way you come to that conclusion. Sorry.
You think Tim Duncan's a better player than Magic Johnson?
Yeah. Yes, actually. I'm very comfortable saying that.
I think so too.
Oh man, Magic Johnson, man. Magic, I think you're a good player. God damn.
I'm a tier.
I do think he's good. He's good.
Yeah. I think I'm a tier guy though. So I got like Kobe, Bird, Magic, Duncan. I think they're all in the same tier. I just hate ranking because then it's like you get the nerd sesh thing where it's like they put one person over the other and it's like, oh, so you think he's blah blah blah, and it's like, well, no, but yeah, I am of the Tim Duncan and Kobe are in the same conversation, but you know, I'm sure that's not very popular.
Yeah, real talk, yeah, you don't know ball, yeah. Duncan and Kobe in the
Wait,
same.
you said who over what? I'm sorry, say it again.
I said they're in the same tier. I'm not like I don't like doing the whole nerd sesh rank concrete thing, but I do think like Bird, Magic, Duncan, Kobe. I'd probably put Shaq a tier above them, but like that's probably that tier. I'd have to think about it. Maybe no, I probably wouldn't put Hakeem in that tier, but that's like the third tier.
Hakeem in the tier above or below?
Below, probably the first one and the one below.
Nope. Hazelnut, you guys need to bring Carson from Nerd Sesh to talk about Duncan. No. You can say goodbye. I feel you can say
no,
goodbye.
that's good. No, you're all good. I respect it. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I mean,
watch more. Yeah, watch more.
I'm a big defense guy. I love defense. I got what?
Oh, but Hakeem is here below Magic.
No, he's
all right, defense guy.
Well, I'm not like he's not concrete so much better than these guys, but I think he's the first one in the next group. But I got Bill Russell at 3 because of you, so I mean, I can make it up to you that way.
Damn. You still gotta go.
Oh yeah, you said you're a Celtic guy.
Yeah, you still gotta go. Yeah, you only doing that because of Boston. Yeah, no man. Yeah.
That's another one that's politically correct. Oh, Bill Russell top 10. The fuck out of here.
Never gonna let Real Talk tell people where he can find them. Yep. You find Real Talk's channel or you don't. I don't even care anymore. Appreciate you guys tapping in with us. It was a good episode, productive episode. I said we get out of here in an hour. I mean, in 2 hours, we did. So yeah, I did my job. Actually, where can the people find you? You got about 10 seconds.
If you want to actually talk some real hoops and not get PC, no pun intended, answers all the time, you can find me at Real Talk EJ LT on YouTube, on Twitter, and all of that. And then, of course, you can catch me on PC Mondays, Wednesdays, and other days sometimes.
There you go. I've been running a poll the whole episode. Over 500 votes. Shout out to you guys. Where does Tim Duncan rank all time? Top 5, top 10, or not top 10? Top 10 won with 65% of the votes, which I think is valid. Tim Duncan is a top 10 player.
Over 500 votes? How many people? I don't see that because I'm.
I don't pay attention to it. Right now we're at 260 something. So I guess throughout, I don't know where people. I don't know. We're at 260 something. Right?
Look at that.
Because I don't care. Kendrick said I got Steph number 1 all time. Shout out to you. I do not.
But even
yes,
it's like in your peripheral though. It's like dead ass on the screen for you. That's what I'm saying. Like, how do you not see that number?
The only time I look up there is when I'm trying to see how long we've been going for. So I only really looked up there like the last 5 minutes to see if I could get out of here before 2 hours. Before that, I don't really pay attention. So
make sure that you like the stream, subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed, turn the notification bell on so you know when we're live. And when Mars decides to drop another video, also that make sure you have the notification bell turned on for Hoop Talk, as they do that podcast on this platform as well from time to time. I don't know the specific days. It's whenever they feel like it. So make sure that you have that notification bell turned on so you know when they go live. And of course, we have one more Town Hall Hoops over here before we transition back to my channel. And then it's going to be back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. So again, have the notification bell turned on and subscribe. Hit that like button. If you're here via VOD, make sure that you hype the videos. All of that helps us out in the algorithm. You're welcome.
yeah, Real Talk is forcing me to be here so that he can get back to doing Town Hall on his channel. So I'm actually being forced to rush. I'm being forced to rush our episodes so that he can get back to having it back on his channel, because I guess I'm fucking the money up, is how he feels. So yeah, there will be another Town Hall on this channel, I guess next week at some point. Real Talk will kind of force me into it. It's non-consensual these days. So
oh brother.
Yeah, subscribe for that one, and then we'll be back to our regularly scheduled programming. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Merry Christmas and goodbye.